Welcome back to Music Theory 1. This is Chapter 9, Accidentals. We're returning to pitch today. So, the idea of an accidental is that so far we have rather limited ourselves to only 8 notes in the octave. And if you know a little bit about pianos, you will know that we have only been looking at the white notes of the piano. Of course, this is only 7 out of the 12 unique tones. And here I have labelled them on a piano so you can see them. And there are some symbols here which you haven't seen before. So we have first the sharp symbol, the hashtag. And then we have also the flat symbol. Okay, so what on earth is going on with these? Well, it's very simple. The sharp symbol raises the note. By 1, and the flat lowers a note by 1. And you will see that we have C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. And you might think, hang on, there are some missing. And you would be correct. What about E sharp, for example? Well, raising E by 1 lands you on F, and E sharp is indeed the same as F. Similarly, B sharp is the same as C, so we can add those on as additional notes for those pitches. And you will see that they mean that we now have all the sharps accounted for. Similarly, the flats, we have C flat and F flat. As the same as E and B respectively. So we have here flats and sharps of all kinds. They do exist. You can have white note sharps and white note flats. They do exist. There's 2 of each. We won't talk about why we might want to do this, other than the fact that for reasons that we will explain later, the octave has been divided into 12 equally spaced notes, rather than the 8 C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, which are not equally spaced. Okay. Now, you might also know that there is one symbol we have not discussed, which is the natural, and this resets a note back to what it would normally be, so the white notes of the piano. Okay. And let's have a little look at how we might do them on the staff with some exercises. So let's have a go. So exercise 1, we should be able to complete based on what we just did. So this is the sharp sign. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. And it raises a note. And the amount it raises it by is called a semitone. You just need to learn that. For now, I'll explain what one is in probably the next class. This is the flat sign. What is this sign called? This is the natural sign. and this cancels sharps and a sharp or a flat. Okay, notice at the signs we can see how we draw them. We have to draw them in the place of the note. So look at those examples, you can see where you would put them, okay, in the space or on the line. So that's exercise 1 done. Let's have a look at exercise 2 and onwards. So a few little things I want to talk to you here about. So we have the idea that we draw a sharp in front of these notes. Now the example's been done for us, but before we do, let's, each time we do it, let's sing the old note and then sing the new note. So here is F as it is at the moment in A. Fa. Okay, and if I draw a sharp in front of it, I get the sound Fi, which is higher. So Fa, Fi. Yeah. And the next note, C, makes the sound Do. And if I sharpen it up, I go to D. And now we've got a high Fa, Fa, going to Fi. I'll explain why I'm changing the vowel in what I'm singing in a second. Let's just draw a flat in front of these notes. We've got a B. And we flatten it down. We would say T. And then we've got some low ones. T. And then if I put a flat in front, T. Hopefully you can hear that going down. I've not drawn that flat very well. Let's see if I can do a bit better. No, I can't. There we go, that's a bit better. And then the high one, T, T. Those are both B flats now. And drawing some naturals just as practice. It's not going to alter the sound because they haven't been sharpened previously or flattened. So maybe they would have done and we're trying to tell them not to do it anymore. But just a little bit of practice for you in drawing. These are altogether called accidentals. Okay. Now exercise 3 asks us to give the letter name and the note name, the full note name, so if there's an accidental. Yeah. So we can see a G sharp and then a G, because the accidental only lasts a whole bar, so that's important. It is often considered good manners to show a natural in the next bar to just remind people. So here we've got a B flat, and then we've got a B natural. It's good to show that it's a B natural, just to show. You don't have to say B natural, but I would. We've got a B again. Now there's the B stays a natural because there's no B flat carried through from anywhere. And then finally an A. And this whole tune sounds like this. Notice this stays a G sharp because there is a G sharp in the bar, whereas this one is in a new bar, so it is a natural. Okay. Now, I promised I would explain a little bit about the solfège before we go any further about solfège and how the vowels change. So this is very much an optional extension to the system. So the idea is that if you sharpen the vowel sound to E. And you end up with this chart. grab it. I'll actually do it myself. So if we go for the sharp side of things, so let's start with C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So this is do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti. Now if we sharpen do, we would call this C sharp, and D. D sharp we might call re. Now mi already sounds pretty sharp, but there is such a thing as E sharp, and we might say my. Fi or fis. Li. And B sharp, if we're using it, remember that's the same as C natural, tie. Rarely used, my and tie, but it is possible. Okay. Then on the flat side, da, ra, me, F flat, very rarely used, but we could use fo or fu. Sa, lo, and te. And notice how we have some notes which are the same. These are called enharmonic equivalents. Although the previous one is. So if we have the same note, different spelling, they are called enharmonic equivalents. Okay, which is a very fancy word. Let's finish the remaining exercise. So this number one, we've got a C, if you're ready. Remember, you can always pause the video and go ahead. It is a B flat, a C sharp, C natural again, B natural, G, F, F sharp, D, B flat, B natural, and F. And they sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, do, di, re, so, la, ti, do. Se, la, di, re, mi, re, do, ti, so, do. And the next one, 1, 2. Do, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, re, mi, do, te, la, da. It's a bit high for me to sing there. I could sing it again for you, but you probably want to go now. So that is it for accidentals. See you in the next one.